Dude. I give up. I have worked so hard, literally. I went to school for 10 years for a higher education that doesn't do me any good. I've been working 2 jobs in restaurants for 2 years, 50 hours a week for nothing. It doesn't mean anything. In fact, I'm getting evicted next week after my son almost died in the end of March with diabetes. And now he has type 1 diabetes. And dealing with that. And then my grandma had a stroke 10 days after that. And now I'm behind on my $2,500 a month rent that I can't work enough to catch up.
Why do people, and let me be clear, I have empathy, right, for people that are going through things because life be life. I've been through things. I don't know anybody that has not been through things. All right. So that goes without saying. Okay, your son got type 1, your grandparent or your parent died or whatever like that. Man, condolences out to you. But then there's always that other part because we ignore that other part because the person is super emotional. Aside from the fact that the person is crying on the internet, I don't understand this. I don't understand picking up your phone and then crying to the internet. I don't know what that does. I don't know if you're looking for somebody to hit your Cash App or whatever. Always gonna link back to the content creator. But the fact of the matter is there some self-inflicted wounds in there? $2,500 a month rent, and apparently you're a single mother, which then lends me to the next question: where's the father? And why aren't you with them? Because this just proves that women cannot do it alone. When men tend to go through things, and don't get me wrong, I do see men crying on this app and stuff like that, but when men tend to go through things, we eat that shit, we suffer it up, and then we just take our lot in life, and either we come up out of it or we take the L. I've never seen more women in my lifetime crying on the internet because of their life circumstances when it's still some self-inflicted wounds that go into that. $2,500 a month rent and you're a single mother apparently is wild to me. Now, obviously, I know that there are circumstances that are beyond people, right? When you talk about some widows or you talk about some other things. But 10 years of school, in what exactly? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like women have this one track mind. It's like, okay, if I go to school, then I'm supposed to be well off. Never mind, I'm supposed to make sure that I don't take out a whole bunch of student loans. Never mind the fact that I am supposed to make sure I go into a curriculum that is going to be conducive for my life. Like if you went to school for 10 years in order to be an anesthesiologist, I think you'll be all right now. You still got to make sure that you are financially literate and you're not blowing a bag. But I think that you will be all right, right? But if you go to school for 10 years for, let's say, liberal arts and theater, or you get a master's degree in something irrelevant, gender studies or some dumb shit. I always like to call it underwater basket weaving degree. Then that's a self-inflicted wound. You know what I'm saying? And then people keep blaming the society told us that we were supposed to do this, and now all of a sudden I'm not able to make it. What is life for? Like nobody owes you anything. We don't take into account how we vote and our liberal ways and the cities that we live in and how highly you get taxed and you paying without representation and again, living in $2,500 a rent when you're a single mother and all of this stuff because we have a luxury mindset and we don't even realize because we feel like we're old because that's the standard of what a lot of people is representing on the internet or society or what they saying on TV and all of this stuff. But in reality, honestly, I know this is about to sound bad, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't be feeling sorry for people. Maybe it's the septum nose ring theory. Maybe it's the intentionally breaking up households. Maybe it's the fact that women advocated for freedom. And again, I can have empathy for people, but I don't necessarily feel sorry for people. Um, I recognize the situation, but I also understand that that is your situation, and it's a lot of decisions that you made, and you can also make future decisions to help yourself get out of it. Um, but when women started advocating and removing the burden from men largely for what they wanted to do with their life, then that then kind of told us that y'all got it, you got it, and so I'm all in support of feminism. it's I am. I'm in support of it because you know every other video that somebody sends me, they saying that they decentering men or they want to do it on their own or they got it already together or they the best or whatever. And now I see this white woman with blue eyes and the septum ring with the Jesus cross on it, and it shows that either God got it or your man got it or somebody else got it. But apparently, that's not the responsibility of the rest of us in society because women got it on their own. Let's hear the rest of what she got to say. I want to hear the whole story, y'all.
Um, the apartments that I live at, the landlords won't accept my rental assistance. I've waited 2 months to get, and they
So she got social services, but they don't want that type of element in that environment. I get it.
don't accept that kind of payment. So so they'd rather see a single
Time to
mom
go
with
to the
two
hood.
kids be on the streets.
Time to go to the hood.
This world is unbelievable. I'm done with it. I called for legal counsel assistance to get
Probably
some
make too much money.
legal assistance, and I make too much money for that.
Yep.
I make too much money. $1,200 a week is just mind-blowing money.
$1,200 a week is $4,800 a month. So let's just round it up to a cool five, which is the equivalent of $60,000 a year. Now I remember 2 to 3 years ago, people were arguing with me on the internet, telling me that that should be enough to be able to take care of a family of four. You got to move. You got to go into a less than ideal environment like every other person, like black people used to do, like Italians used to do, like Chaldeans used to do, like Arabic people used to do, like Asian people. You got to go and move, baby. You got to make the adjustment. Public transportation, all of that stuff. You make $60,000 a year or a little bit below. I don't know, man.
It's just too much when I can barely make it on that.
Or give the kids back to their father or go back with your baby daddy if he not already with somebody else.
I'm
Got the
fed up.
tattoo.
I'm done. I'm fucking done. There's no hope for people like me in this fucking place, man.
What happened to white privilege and stuff? I thought all of y'all said that white privilege was a thing and that people had a leg up or whatever. I see people trying to survive and figure it out. I also see people being punished for the collective bad decisions that society has leaned towards as far as liberalism and Democrat plantationism and feminism and all of the isms that's not best for y'all. My suggestion would be to let the kids go back with their father. Again, I don't have the additional context to even be able to make that assessment, so I only have to react, off of what I have. And I think that crying on the internet is not going to fix it. You're gonna see a bunch of weak people probably in her comments, and I always like to link back to the content creator, regardless of whether I agree with them or not. You're gonna see a bunch of weak people link back in the comments, and they're gonna be, oh my God, let's comment, let's get her up so we can get her. Man, that's not gonna fix it. You got a lifetime of bad decisions to overcome, combined with the regular stuff that you didn't even know what was coming. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Maybe I'm a little too harsh. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. T Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off of life. Go home. Go back with your baby daddy or get a kids to the baby daddy. You can't make it on your own. Lower your rent.